Call the Board of Selectmen meeting to order. I believe it's time. We need a roll call.
Okay, meeting's been made, a roll call second, a roll call is in order. Mr. Rowland?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to open our meeting for business on May 24th, 7 o'clock.
Excellent. So let's start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. A Pledge of Allegiance
To the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Excellent. All right, I'm going to take things a little bit out of order since we have our friends from the Plymouth County Commission here. Want to welcome you guys, and I believe we have a check presentation.
We do.
We do.
Great. What do we have?
So do I have to give it to you right away?
No, not right away.
Okay. So anyway, I'd just like to thank you for having us here this evening. It's always a pleasure to come here. You guys have been really great to work for, this past year. And we know that it's been really tough times, and you've done a great job in getting all the paperwork necessary to submit to county government in order to get a check. And we're always pleased to be here and give you a check. I'd like to congratulate Mr. Kilcoyne. I think he's going to fit in perfectly with this board, and was it a 3-year term?
Yes, it is.
Yes, we'll see, and we'll be working with you for the next 3 years.
You're stuck with me.
Yeah. I'd like to say over the many years, I want to thank Mr. Moresco for all his work and his staff, who he's been a great leader with his staff, and also Patrick. He's been a great person to have on board also in working with us. We have a check here, which I'd love to present to you. It's for $958,478.75. So.
Yep, and I'll just add to Commissioner Wright, we want to extend our gratefulness to former Selectman Mike Bradley, who I know is your chair. He also chaired our advisory board. So just for the folks at home, Plymouth County Commissioners are your executive branch, the advisory board is our legislative branch. He chaired that for several years. Marshfield was one of the first communities to participate in this program. That was admittedly, before my time, I was sworn in January, but Commissioner Wright, Commissioner Hanley, and my predecessor, Commissioner Pilata, Chairman Pilata, invested in this program, believed in this program, and believed in doing it. And what enabled us to do this program successfully was buy-in from Marshfield. Marshfield was the first community to participate in this program. And you are also the first community to reach year cap, which we are bringing the last check for now. I know the vaccination site, they put in some funds. We are working with that. We have that under advisement. We're hopeful we'll be able to help in covering that as well. We also just wanted to thank Senator O'Connor, Representative Kearney. Their support and their buy-in on this program as well has been invaluable. Commissioner Wright mentioned your leadership team, but I just want to echo Mr. Moresso, Mr. Delarusso, and the entire team of Marshfield has been phenomenal to work with, and we are so excited to be able to continue to do that. Of course, our federal delegation as well. And then last but not least, I often do this when he's here. He couldn't be with us this evening, but we want to mention our chairman now, Greg Hanley, sent his regrets, and of course Treasurer O'Brien. His team has worked quite literally nights and weekends for the last year, and especially now as we're getting closer to June 30th to make sure we don't, being mindful of the municipal finance deadlines, they are working nonstop to get these funds out to you. The program has been done at a 1% administrative cost, which has meant more money for Marshfield and the member communities. For relative comparison, there are other towns that have received half. If they're not in Plymouth County, they've gotten half of what a town similar size to Marshfield has received. And we've done that working, again, to Treasurer O'Brien's credit, his team, Deputy Treasurer Welch, working nights and weekends to ensure that we kept our administrative costs low so we could deliver you folks more funds.
Good. For anybody who doesn't know, for anybody who is at home and doesn't know what the CARES Act is, I would, tell them to please go on PlymouthCountyCaresAct.com. They can read all about the CARES Act and find out what it's about and what you're allowed to, put in for. I'd like to also mention your cap has been $3,822,258. $3,822,258. $251.49. That's not an easy task. I know that all of you people have worked really hard to get to that number, so we greatly appreciate it and keep up the good work. And one other thing I always like to, thank my police and fire for their great efforts in keeping the community safe and never wavering from their call of duty. So I want to thank them also.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know, speaking from my personal standpoint, as chair and as a member of the Board of Selectmen, I appreciate, you coming down here personally to present this check. It means a lot to us because I mean, one thing I can say about Marshfield, and I'm sure other towns are like this as well, but we're very much about, we're a team effort here, and we work very well together. Our town administrator, his leadership, Patrick De La Russa's leadership, it makes it easier to be a selectman when you have the kind of quality leadership we have. And ultimately, our chief of police and our fire chief, our new fire chief, Jeff Simpson, and it's just been if you're going to make positives about such a negative thing such as COVID, the positives are we all kind of came together and instead of just worrying and wondering what we can do, we just made things happen. And I think that's been a key part of how we've been able to operate in Marshfield. But I appreciate you coming forward and bringing the check to us. It means a lot to our town, so I appreciate that. Mr. Darcy?
Yeah, the Plymouth County Commissioners took a lot of heat for accepting that CARES Act money, so we appreciate your board standing strong under a lot of pressure because this money has been a godsend for our budget, quite frankly, and I think we got that money, not only more money, but also a lot faster than we otherwise would have. So thank you guys for all of your hard work and taking the initiative and standing strong under a lot of pressure.
Thank you, we appreciate that.
And one of the things I'd like to mention too is, I want to extend my deepest thanks to Michael Bradley for, being on the board here and also being on the advisory board. And one thing that I took away from knowing him is that I always found him to be fair, but firm, and always consistent. And never ever did he waver from, what he knew was right for his community. So I really want to, thank him for that stand that he took.
Absolutely.
Good.
Mr. Copeland?
Yeah, I do want to say also, the Sheriff's Department was a key part of this effort too. I mean, every time I was down there, the Sheriff's Department was there. So you, not only you helping supporting our efforts with assistance this way, but you also help staff it. Of course, fire, police, and I'd also like to do a special call out to the leadership team that had the fourth vision to buy the freezers and set this up so we could be the regional center. So I really appreciate your help in funding that effort. Thank you.
Excellent.
Chairman, if I may, before we do a photo, but just for our listeners, if I could just go over maybe couple of the big purchase items that we did with the money. So thanks to Plymouth County, we were able to maximize our share of the CARES Act funding. We spent the money on $997,000 worth of laptops and Chromebooks for our student and teachers for remote learning. $250,000 on school-related remote learning technologies for lower elementary schools, etc. $62,000 Council on Aging van to transport our senior citizens during the pandemic to and from doctor's appointments to grocery stores, CVS, and Walgreens. $400,000 on sanitation of our buildings, equipment, playgrounds to keep our employees and our residents safe and healthy. $220,000 on PPE for our first responders, fire and police and ambulance. $233,000 on new COVID-19 killing HVAC systems for our library. $450,000 on overtime costs related to running 4 ambulances for nearly 1 year. And special thanks to the men and women of our fire department for their commitment in doing that. Those are just some of the things that CARES Act money was funding.
Great.
Excellent.
It's good to know.
So I think we want to do a photo. That'd be great.
Yes.
All right.
Let's
Come back here. Yeah.
Okay.
John, you want to take a picture?
Sure.
I'll give you mine too, John, if that's okay.
Yes,
Sir?
Patrick?
Patrick, to you or to Patrick?
The money man needs to come.
Right here in the middle, right next to the chair.
I think the last time I was here, you were checking, let it go.
I know, it's like,
Well, it was nice, Patrick and I went to get the second check. First check, the treasurer was here.
Are we in?
I think that's what
Yes.
you told me to let go
Right,
of the
that's-
check. So who am I gonna give this
All right,
to?
ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. All right, you want to do one more?
Sure.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Now we have to take another one without me holding the check.
Yes.
And then I got to do one more photo.
Proof that we handed it over.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Very good.
Awesome, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
It was nice to see you.
It was the last time you
Yes.
came right
Never seen it.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you guys.
Yes.
Commissioner Valenzola?
Okay.
Nice to see you.
Is that a promise or a charge?
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you guys so much,
Yeah,
everyone.
nice to see you. Thank you.
Mr. Commissioner, thank you so much.
Thank
I get it. Congratulations. That's my job.
Yes, thank you so much. It's always a
Thank you.
pleasure to work with you.
All right, that's great stuff.
Okay, have a great meeting.
Yes, good meeting, thank you.
Good night. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night. Thank you.
All right, it's a little bit before our next appointment. Why don't we do town administrator report?
That might take a little longer.
Do you want to go ahead and, we can go
I
ahead.
can do the update on the clinic, and that will,
let's do
okay.
that. Let's
We'll
do
do the update on the clinic.
Perfect.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. Just wanted to give the board an update on where we stand so far. So as of right now, we have 59,000 fully vaccinated people. We are in operation Wednesday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. We've administered 58,400 Pfizer shots, 3,600 J&J shots for a total of 62,000 vaccines administered. We have 6 lanes of traffic so people can easily get in and out of the fairgrounds. We have approximately 900 to 1,000 vehicles drive through a day. 55 personnel daily on volunteers, town employees, and members of the Plymouth County Sheriff's Office. 7 medical aids resulting in transports for non-life-threatening issues. 79 medical aids resulting in no transports at all. It's going good. We anticipate that we'll probably be wrapping up the clinic by the end of June. So June 30th would be the last. We'll get everything out of the fairground. The last shot will be administered on the 26th. Right now, the focus of the clinic is on 12 and up. We've reached out to a number of surrounding communities around us, and we'll be reaching out to folks on the Cape in southeastern Mass and try to maximize getting people in here. We have, in future plans, we're thinking about once we shut it down, it won't be fully shut down, but we can continue by appointment. I'm going to be working with the Board of Health. We have the nurses that were trained, Teresa and other folks, and the room that we have the refrigerators in right now, we're talking about turning that into maybe a medical place where people will schedule their appointments and they will come up. We're not doing the volume that we're doing. We're in negotiations and we're listening to what the state says about the potential for booster shots maybe in the fall. And if that was the case, we could go back to the fairgrounds, do sort of a mini clinic where we'd be operating, maybe Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, something like that, or just Friday and Saturday to do booster shots, because the booster shot, there may be more facilities available. The drive-through always worked really well. We're probably the busiest of the local collaboratives. There were about 7 of them in Massachusetts, and I think it was because of the ease of being able to get in and out. Like I said, medical, we had like 7 medical aids that were actually transported, and we had 79 people that, and that's a small number out of 62,000. And it's mostly people get nervous. They got the shot, they would hear on TV, some people felt like they were going to faint, their heart was, pounding, they were dizzy, or they had a headache. And we had, great, fire department personnel right there, went right over, and assessed their situation, and it was great. So that's my report on the clinic. We'll keep everyone updated, but I figured tonight we want to stop mentioning that we're starting to wind down, and later on tonight, we'll talk about the governor rescinding his orders, the board rescinding their orders, and, we're getting back to normal. I don't know if we'll truly be back to normal for a while, but at least we're heading in the right direction as we approach the busy summer. So.
No, yeah, absolutely. And, it's just nice to see light at the end of the tunnel and ultimately, reminding people that even though the shot clinic at the fairgrounds will be closed at June 30th, there'll still be many places for people to receive shots, and they just have to seek it out. I'm pretty confident that at this point, if you want a shot, you can get it. At least if you're 12 years old or older, right?
That is correct, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah,
I know
so-
Patrick and I are looking forward to having Saturdays. I don't know, Mr.
Yeah.
Darcy probably too, and it'll be nice, but we'll be able to eke it out to June 26th.
Whenever you need us for a 6-day-a-week again, you just let us know.
Yeah.
We'll be there. Resco and Del Russo will deliver.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's amazing. Great report on that. I believe it's 7:15, so a little over, and we have an appointment with our fire chief. Is he here?
Yes. Thank you.
There are some on those, they're coming in.
Okay.
Gentlemen, how are you?
How are you? Hey, Chris.
Great. Chief Simpson, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Excellent. So I understand we have some commendations to give today.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Recently, our department responded to a call, actually an address that they frequent, which is pretty typical of any emergency service. And it was a very early morning hour call after the end of a very busy shift. They were dispatched for a person that had fallen with no reported injuries. Upon arrival at the address, Marshfield fire personnel, the 4 members that are here tonight, conducted what I would call a standard patient evaluation. Doing their jobs, it didn't matter what time of the day it is. And most people would think that isn't very outstanding. But when you've done 20 calls during the day, there is a fatigue level that does set in. But they continue to do their jobs at the highest level. The patient stated adamantly that he had no complaints. And usually when we hear that, we say, okay, that's great, we'll see you later on. If you need us, give us a call. They brought it to the next level. The personnel on scene conducted a full medical evaluation as a precaution. But during that evaluation, they found a life-threatening cardiac issue. And what turned out to be a simple slip and fall in the middle, very early morning hours, ended up being a life or death situation. And their actions undoubtedly saved this man's life. There's no doubt about it. The fact that their compassion, number one, their unbelievable compassion, professionalism, and skill is what made these 4 firefighters stand above the rest. These are the people that represent the community's fire department. They do a fantastic job. They're supported by the community, and I'm glad that they get an opportunity to be recognized tonight.
Excellent. Well, it's, a lot of people say it's part of the job or it's just another day's work for our fire department. But I would think that this gentleman thinks it's a little different than that because you saved his life. And, I think it's really important that we recognize our firefighters for being aware and like you said, you're stressed. You've been through a long shift, and to have the foresight to recognize something that's life-threatening like that makes a big difference in somebody's life. So we'd like to present these commendations. What's the best way to do this, Michael? What do you think?
I would call them up and
Yeah,
we'll hand it to them personally, and then we'll do a group shot with the selectmen and the firefighters and the chief.
Excellent. So, can I have firefighter, paramedic Vincent Delvecchio to come up? Firefighter.
Thank you, sir.
Delvecchio. Just wanted to tell you, presented by the Board of Selectmen to you, we hereby honor and thank you for your commitment to public safety and your professionalism in a life-threatening situation. Your diagnostic skills and prompt intervention played a major role in saving a life on May 7th, 2021. Witness our hand and seal the town of Marshfield on this Monday, the 24th day of May in the year 2021. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Excellent. Can I also have firefighter paramedic Nicholas Burba join us? Firefighter Burba.
Thank you.
We hereby honor and thank you for your commitment to public safety and your professionalism in a life-threatening situation. Your diagnostic skills and prompt intervention played a major role in saving a life on May 7th, 2021. Witness our hand and seal the town of Marshfield on this Monday, the 24th day of May in the year 2021. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Firefighter paramedic Ryan Henry. Firefighter Henry.
Sir.
We hereby honor and thank you for your commitment to public safety and your professionalism in a life-threatening situation. Your diagnostic skills and prompt intervention played a major role in saving a life on May 7, 2021. Witness our hand and seal the town of Marshfield on this Monday, the 24th day of May in the year 2021. Thank you.
Sir.
Lastly but not least, Lieutenant Richard Pinio. Lieutenant, we hereby honor and thank you for your commitment to public safety and your professionalism in a life-threatening situation. Your diagnostic skills and prompt intervention played a major role in saving a life on May 7th, 2021. Witness our hand and seal the town of Marshfield on this Monday, the 24th day of May in the year 2021. Thank you. Let's get a photo.
If we could just have everyone come right up and join the selectmen and back.
Yeah, come back here.
Get a nice photo.
Sorry, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. It is terrible. I've had horrible allergies this year. Come on in here this way. This way. We good?
Okay, I have everyone. Okay, on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. We'll do one more because you really can't tell if people are smiling, but, okay. 1, 2, 3.
It's true,
Okay.
I'm wearing a mask.
Wait.
So, I'm not wearing a mask. So. Oh, I know. Thank you. No, thank you for your service. Appreciate it. Great job.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks, Chief Simpson. We appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Okay, let's move on to the town administrator's report. Mr. Maresco.
Great, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Week of May 10th, weekly meeting with PMA to review the projects, the police, DPW, and solar projects. We have a weekly meeting with them. Meeting with PMA and GNR Construction, coverage on a change of project manager. They made a change. We have a new, Alex is doing a fantastic job. Breakfast meeting with Chairman Rowland to discuss some ongoing issues, meetings, and some other changes to be brought to the board. Bi-weekly meeting, Police and Building Committee meeting, approving change orders, steel delivery, and the actual issuance of putting up the steel. One interesting thing is the previous manager for GNR, there was an issue with the crane height. The crane has to go up 175 feet, so today we were notified that there may be a slight delay in the installation of the steel because they have to get signed off by the Commonwealth Aeronautics Commission to allow, because it's in a direct flight path of Marshfield Airport. Also, a meeting with Chief Simpson to discuss the ongoing bid for fire vehicle maintenance at the fire headquarters. DPW, because of the bond being gone, they're really not able to do the repairs for the fleet. Most of the fleet repairs, Luchetti's got the contract. We went out to bid for heavy trucks. Sullivan Tire, their West Bridgewater office will do the trucks. Fire department, anything new that's under guarantee, it's with Greenwood. And then if older trucks break down or things like that, the ambulance breaks down, we went out to bid to get a company. There are companies that actually come and do the repairs right at the fire station. And that's the most economical, because if we have to drive the apparatus somewhere, it requires 2 individuals to give the person a ride back, and you pay the overtime. So in the long run, it's cheaper to. So we went out to bid, and hopefully in about 3 weeks, we'll know who gets the bid to do that. Meeting with Bill Grafton on document scanning, the Wetland Trust Fund, and the stenographer for their meetings. Weekly OAC meeting, that's the owner, architect, and contractor meeting, to review submittals on the project timelines, making sure that they're met. Conference call with Jeff Granatino on school-related issues. Meeting, we did a meet and greet at the Trails Committee. I know that the chairman joined us at that meeting at Webster's Wilderness. It was great to see so many of the Trails people out there. Ned Bangs, who had some health issues. It was the first time that he was actually out in public. He didn't go on the trails and didn't go do any of the cleaning or the cutbacks, but the Trails Committee's been very active, and I know that Mr. Kilcoyne, coming from the Conservation Commission, knows the work that's being done. We have all that beautiful open space that we have. It's one of the reasons people are attracted here, but really the Trails Committee, they're charged with the responsibility of keeping those open and accessible. So that was a nice meet and greet, and people talked about the great work that they're going to continue to do. Participated in the Marshfield Chamber meeting. Upcoming events and projects were talked about. Also, Lobster Fest was talked about. It's one of their biggest events, and now that everything's being lifted, that's going to be a big event that's going to take place in September. We'll hear more about that. Also that week, I did a presentation, Patrick, myself, the photovoltaic folks. We did a presentation to the school committee on photovoltaics going on the school property. We needed to get a vote from the school committee. Not only did we get a vote of support, but it was a unanimous vote to move into photovoltaics. Marshfield Senior Center Building Committee, we meet every other week. Had a meeting with them. Their project's going really well. If you go by there right now, the windows have been installed, the roof's there. That's moving really well. Weekly meeting with the DPW project. As I mentioned in previous, the goal is to go out to bid in June. We're a little nervous about the market because things are running so high. Hopefully that project will come in. We've had to make major adjustments, cutbacks. Really can't reduce the size and scope of the building because of the functionality. So worst case scenario, we may have to go out to bid later in the late fall if it doesn't work out this time, but we'll keep people posted. Also, Patrick and I did a grant application for the chamber for their walkability for some planters and hard topping and stuff over town parking lot. So we did that. Weekly maintenance meeting with Fred it's the end of the year, so we're trying to wrap up a number of maintenance projects. One of the last big projects to get off the ground sometime this week is the painting of the school administration building. As folks know, the town, through CPC, committed just about $4 million to rehab that building. It's been in dire need of a paint job, and before the shingles get ruined, they want to have that painted. We've been dealing with some AC issues at various fire departments. We've got some painting of the town hall. As you know, we had the siding, not the siding, but the special cladding is good for, like, it's not aluminum. I don't want people to think it's aluminum siding or vinyl siding, but it's like hardy plank. It's actually a form of hardy plank. That doesn't need painting for 50 years, but the trim and the windows, we're going to do the caulking and the painting of the black and the white, and we'll get that done over the summer. We had attended the Citizen of the Year and Businessman of the Year dinner. They honored Peter Cook, a cooking company, as Citizen of the Year, and Jim Bunno, Executive Director of the Boys and Girls Club, and that was at the Rexicana Cantina. And it was a great crowd. I think people were really excited to be out in the public. Also, as folks know, I'm on the steering committee for the Mayflower Municipal Health Group, which does the town's insurance, and the insurance is doing really well. It's weathered the storm, even with COVID. We're showing $5 million, and we got $39 million in reserve, so it's doing very well. I've been meeting with No Fossil Fuel on our solar projects because everything has to be coordinated with the 3 construction sites to get the photovoltaics in while the construction's going on, to get the conduit, the foundations, etc. So working with that. Diversity meeting working on the Selectmen's Diversity event that will take place on Saturday, June 12th from 10 to 12 at the Boys and Girls Club. We're going to have some fantastic speakers. We're going to have music. We're going to have meditation. We're going to have kids involved, the kids' perspective about acceptance of people, whether it's your sexual orientation, the color of your skin, your ethnicity. We want folks to know that we're truly welcoming to everybody who comes here. We want people to feel loved. We had a meeting with Greg Guimont, Brant Rock. We're dealing with Brant Rock. And the week of May 17th, weekly PMA meeting to discuss upcoming construction issues. Yeah, people go by, they'll see the elevator shaft is now up. The main stairwell has been put up. If you go by the DPW, you'll see that the land's been cleared, the soil's been compounded and ready for construction. Meeting with Danielle Kerrigan. She's working with me on the diversity and training issue. We have weekly meetings at the Boys and Girls Club. Brant Rock meeting with a number of people from Brant Rock. We had a meeting last Monday night, and to really get Brant Rock ready for the summer, dealing with the DPW, getting the beach stairs in, getting the streets swept down there, getting the painting of the crosswalks, arrows on the roadway so people aren't going the wrong way, getting the trash barrels out there, the bat boards out. And we did talk a little bit about the options from the BU study. I think I shared that with the Selectmen, and I know it's up on the planning board pages for residents that want to take a look at it. And also we're getting photovoltaic lighting for the flagpole that's down there. So a lot of good things happening. Had the department head meeting. We had Joe Rossi in to talk about the hazard mitigation plan. He comes quarterly to the department head meetings, and we're able to check off boxes on the mitigation plan, and we continue to do that. We had a task force update. We talked about diversity training for all of our employees, and we talked with Christine, getting folks ready for closeout of the fiscal year. We also talked about rescinding the executive order. We talked about vacation policy, because we're going into big vacation season now, and people can actually take time off and go away. And then we had department head briefings. I've been participating in the Levitate concert meeting. Their concert's August 7th and 8th at the fairgrounds. They're expecting about 10,000 people per day. No fossil fuel meeting on the MOU regarding absorbing the cost of the solar projects. Had a meeting with Chief Simpson on obsolete equipment and potentials. We wanted to get rid of sort of, they cleaned all the stations, got rid of everything, and you'll see that at your next meeting. You'll be voting on that. It's just all, lack of a better word, junk to be cleaned out and thrown away, but needs the blessings of the board. The chief is sending a letter. Weekly meeting with Fred Russo on school closeout projects, the Alamo cleaning, record storage and cleaning at Town Hall attic, and the Pratt bomb is on the government website. We hope to soon have someone close the deal so that we can get that down. Over the weekend, it was broken into again. They kicked in the front doors and they tore a side door off, so we're very lucky that not anything worse has happened. We'd like to get that taken care of and sold before something worse happened. I also had the opportunity to open bids for the new Marshfield High School track, which it's the high school track, but it's actually located behind the Martinson building. One company bid on that, so they'll be getting a new rubberized track for our track stars. Monthly DPW meeting with Patrick and myself. I committed to meeting with them monthly for them to address any challenges that they have. Patrick and I, we go over their budget with them. We go over, what vacancies they have, what they can afford to fund, things like that. And it's been working out well. We had another diversity meeting for our June 12th meeting, and this time, we keep adding, so we're going to have food trucks at the end. The goal is when the event itself ends, we invite people to have lunch with people that they're meeting for the first time, and food trucks will be there. So that will be fun. Had a meeting at Library Plaza regarding locks on doors. There were doors being left open. There's a number of entities there. There's the food pantry. There's the library, and then the schools run a program out of there. So I just need to do some coordination, and we're going to go to a slide like we have at some of the doors here, just so it's easier for people to slide a card and they don't need to leave the doors open, allowing other people in. And wetland restoration meeting on 35 Parsonage Street. with Bill Grafton. Patrick, I was double booked that day, so Patrick was nice enough to go home and take his suit off, come back with more suitable clothes to go walk the wetland restoration project at 35 Parsonage. So special thanks to Patrick. And finally, to close out my town administrator's report, if the board would indulge and the chairman would, I'd like to invite Karen Paulette to come up and give an update to the board on what's going to happen for Memorial Day festivities recognizing our veterans.
Yeah, please do.
Karen.
Join us, Karen. How are you this evening?
I'm well, good evening.
Awesome.
Thank you for having me.
Sure.
Okay, so Memorial Day obviously is a little different, more different than last year, but next year we're hoping everything back on track. So graveside ceremonies will take place at 07:30, starting at Winslow Cemetery. Small group of veterans rendering honors to our fallen veterans, followed by various cemeteries in town. The Memorial Day ceremony itself is virtual, as I believe everybody knows, and if they don't, it will be at 11 a.m. on MCTV. It'll be played various times throughout the day, so everybody could tune into that and see what's going on there. We have several veterans and area representatives participating in this program, so hopefully it's a little different than last year and keep your attention and make it special. We'll be showing pieces from past ceremonies as well as new recordings and photos that were submitted from people in town. And lastly, I'd just like to give a shout out to Sean Leary and MCTV. Without them putting this all together for us, it wouldn't be possible. So we just wanted to make sure that it represents our town's commitment and dedication to the fallen veterans. They are fantastic, and we just wouldn't be able to do it without them. So that's pretty much it for Memorial Day. MCTV, 11 a.m. Monday, Memorial Day.
Excellent. I appreciate I know the last couple of years it's been very surreal and a little bit strange, but we've been able to implement some creativity in making sure we honor our fallen veterans. And, this year will be no different. Like you said, hopefully next year we'll get back to our normal live Memorial Day festivities, but I encourage everyone in town to tune in and watch the virtual ceremony, because I think there's going to be some great content, and it'll be a great way to honor our veterans. So I appreciate you putting all the work in, Karen. Appreciate that.
I appreciate you all. Thank you
Mr.
for all
Brooks, do
your
you have
support.
Anything?
Yeah, I'll be looking forward to next year when we get back to normal and give them the type of event that delivers the recognition and the scope and scale that they deserve.
Agreed. Everybody loves the parade. Everybody loves the ceremony. People love that opportunity to give back to veterans or, show and honor fallen veterans. And this is, their big way of doing it. And they wait for this all year round. So when you don't give it to them, they're very disappointed. So we're just doing our best, again, teaming up with MCTV and everybody in town, including the Selectmen and just area representatives, to try to just convey that we still do honor our veterans, and we are still here, and we are still proud.
Awesome. Mr. Kilcoyne?
Yeah, I echo similar words. It's just drawn out to me kind of special that you do want to honor and recognize that freedom is not free.
And exactly.
And these people paid the ultimate price for us. And so that's something you should always honor.
Absolutely. I will say Marshfield is I always keep saying veteran-oriented town, and I say that because we're a very busy office, and we get a lot of people that call and just want to help out. How can we show the veterans we care? How can we honor our veterans? So it's very alive in Marshfield, and we strive to keep that at a high momentum and keep that going throughout the elementary kids, and that's was also lost this year. Mm-hmm. They love when the veterans show up and they get to show their appreciation to those veterans. So Absolutely. Next year is a whole new year.
It is. So we appreciate you coming in and letting everyone know what the happenings are, and we'll look forward to it. So.
Still happening. So
yeah, the hats.
Just a different way.
Yeah,
right. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Right. Have a great day.
Yep.
And Mr. Chairman, that concludes my town administrator's report.
A busy week this week, Mr. Town Administrator, Mr. Maresco. Okay, let's move on to our action items. First action item is discussion and vote on board and committee liaisons. As you all know, and as hopefully our viewers at home know, every year when we reorganize our Board of Selectmen, we want to be sure that we have a board member who is a liaison to our different boards and committees across the town. Those selectmen are available to those boards and committees as liaisons directly to the Board of Selectmen. Typically, the way we would look at it is, we would look at the different committees and boards and propose certain boards would be assigned to different selectmen. I had kind of made a suggestion on certain boards. Mr. Darcy and I have been on the select board for, over a year each, so we, for the most part, most of our liaisonships would stay the same, but I'll just read out real quickly and then I'll make a motion that we accept these assignments. So the board and committee list would be advisory board, formerly would be Mike Bradley, would be myself as chair. Agricultural Commission was me before, it would be me again. Airport Commission, Steve Darcy. Capital Budget Committee, myself. Community Preservation Committee would be Steve. Conservation Commission would be Mr. Kilcoyne. Council on Aging would be me. Cultural Council would be me. Energy Committee would be Steve. Historical Commission would be Mr. Darcy as well. Housing Partnership would be Mr. Kilcoyne. Library Trustees would be Mr. Kilcoyne. Open Space Committee would be Mr. Kilcoyne. The PPI Committee, which is formerly our Coastal Advisory Committee, would be myself. Recreation Commission would be Mr. Darcy. Recreation Fields Committee would be Mr. Darcy. Recreation Trails Committee would be Mr. Kilcoyne. Waterways Committee would be Mr. Kilcoyne, and the Zoning Board of Appeals would be myself. And there's a new board or committee, the ADA committee, and that would be Mr. Darcy. So I'll make a motion to accept these assignments as suggested.
Second?
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Rowland.
Aye.
Mr. Darcy.
Aye.
Mr. Kilcaine.
Aye.
Unanimous vote.
Excellent. All right, great. So ideally, the idea would be, to get with those chairmen of those committees and boards. I'll make sure that if you didn't write those down or you don't have those assignments, that we get those to you guys, and then we just make contact with the different chairs of those boards and committees to make sure they know we're available to them. So, excellent. Okay, number two, kind of exciting thing to say. Last year in March, we had to have the unfortunate task of declaring a state of emergency in the town of Marshall due to COVID, and ultimately, I'm here to recommend that we vote to rescind the state of emergency for the town of Marshfield, which would take effect on May 29th, 2021. Is there any discussion, Mr. Darcy?
No.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
No, I'm pretty excited about it.
Excellent. So, do I need to read this?
Sure.
Okay, I don't know. I have it.
I'll just give, you don't need to read it, but if you don't mind, if you want me to go through and tell what's included and what's not?
Please do.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, by tonight's action of the board, which the board will take a vote, and they'll rescind the executive order, that will get things back to the way we were. We'll do a vote. When you do that vote, we'll want to make a recommendation that the board also include face masks for town hall and library. I want to leave out the rec department at the moment, and I want to leave out the senior center at the moment, because Carol's working with, the state gives some leeway on, certainly for all the schools, you're going to continue to wear a mask inside even beyond the 29th through the end of this school year. Because the rec department does programs with the schools, I want to wait and see how that's going to play out. So I'll ask the board's indulgence to let the rec department continue their programs to wear a mask, at least until our next meeting on the 7th, and then we can we'll have more information by then. And Carol's working to decide about a face mask. But the one thing that I did want to mention, when we get rid of the state of emergency locally and the governor gets rid of the state of emergency statewide, the Board of Selectmen was very intuitive to put that bylaw change on, because even though the governor's executive order would go 60 days till August 15th, there's still a lot of good weather for those restaurants that invested in outside equipment in September and October and even November, living here in New England. So even though the executive order is going to be lifted both statewide and locally, those restaurants who have outside seating, whether by right or by that bylaw, will continue to be able to do that through December 1st. So I'm sure that they're very happy about that. Also, the takeaway delivery of alcohol will cease to exist. A lot of restaurants want to keep that. I will tell you that the legislature is working on a bill once they conclude the budget. They may be addressing some of these. The other thing is we'll be going back to live in-person meetings, and they're working on legislation. There's a lot of people that thought Zoom was great. It really expanded how many people can participate. You know, the Board of Selectmen's meeting's not necessarily participatory unless it's a public hearing. I think we had a new, different kind of, a younger audience peer in because of Zoom. You can still watch it on MCTV. So there's a number of changes, but the big thing is really the alcohol, the outdoor seating, the face mask, and we'll go from there. So those are the real big changes.
Yeah, excellent. I mean, I'm very excited to be able to continue to offer outdoor seating through December 1st. I know that Governor Baker is making the, what is it, 90 days or 60, I think
60 days, August 15th.
But we have the right as a town to set our own time, and we had already done that. So you definitely want to make sure that the restaurants in town can rest assured that we were going to continue to offer that. So excited about that. And so I will make a motion that we lift the town of Marshfield declaration of emergency effective May 29th with the recommendation or the continuation of wearing face masks in town hall and library when you were inside.
Rescinding it for town hall in the library, but leaving the face mask requirement for the senior center.
Sorry.
Yep, for the senior center. Yep.
Rescinding it for town hall and the library, but leaving it in place for the senior center. And let me make another comment. If you feel that you need to wear a mask, I would recommend you do, right? For your own personal safety and health. So, but requirement would only be for the senior setting.
And the CDC recommends that anyone that has not had their vaccination are the ones that really should be wearing a mask, even if it's not a requirement any longer, just to keep themselves healthy until they decide to get the shot.
Correct. So that is my motion.
Motion's been made and duly
Second.
Which the roll call is in order. Mr. Rowland?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
A unanimous vote to rescind the executive order of the town of Marshfield effective May 29th and the relaxing of face mask requirement inside at town hall and at the library.
Excellent. So next item on our action items is discussion and vote to allow in-person meetings for town boards and committees effective on May 29th. So in line with what we just discussed, we would move to allow us to return to in-person meetings for these town boards and committees. And I would like to make a motion that we do that.
Second.
Motion been made and duly second. A roll call is in order. Mr. Rowland?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
A unanimous vote to allow in-person meetings for our town boards and committees effective on May 29, 2021.
Excellent. The next item that I have is a discussion and vote on town of Marshfield representative on the Plymouth County Advisory Board to fill, and this would be for the county commission, to fill the vacancy left by Mr. Bradley. As most people know, Mr. Bradley was chairman, but this past year. But prior to that, Mr. Bradley served as our liaison, and each of the towns in Plymouth County would recommend or nominate, appoint a select board member to be our liaison to that county commission. So I would like to make a motion that, I know Mr. Darcy has expressed interest in serving at that, and I thank you, Mr. Darcy, for stepping forward, adding that additional duty to your schedule. And I'd like to make a motion that I would like to nominate Mr. Darcy as our representative to the Plymouth County Commission.
A motion's been made. Do we have a second?
I will
We
second
have a second by Mr. Kilcoyne. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll move for a vote. Mr. Rowland?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to appoint Steve Darcy as the Marshfield representative to the Plymouth County Advisory Board.
Great. I'm sure you'll get get with Mr. Moresco, and I know there's a meeting coming up, so
Yes.
you can get with him on that.
And I did serve on that for
You did, yeah,
3 or
you
4
did.
years when I was a selectman.
That's great. It's great to have our representation there. So,
Will we do a mic rotation?
Yes.
all right. Next item on our action items on our agenda is discussion and vote the Assistant Harbor Master and Shellfish Constable appointments. So, I have a memo from Harbor Master DeMayo. He is respectfully requesting conditional annual appointments for the following personnel to assist harbor masters and assistant shellfish constables. Reappointments for harbor master for 2021-22 would be Michael DeMayo, harbor master and shellfish constable. Assistant harbor masters would be Richard Rodwell, first assistant harbor master and assistant shellfish constable. Zachary Colbert, John Doyle, Eli Dutilio, Christian Cataldo, Charles Matar, Stephen Merrick, Daniel Kane, Matthew Murphy, and Ian Schultz. And the new assistant harbor masters for 2021 would be Kyle Schultz, Michael Devine, Colin Costello, John Thompson, Megan Bonney, and Jason Dernier. So I'd like to make a motion to accept the harbor master and the assistant harbor masters as written for the year 21-22.
A motion made and
Second?
duly second. A roll call is in order. Mr. Rowland.
Aye.
Mr. Darcy.
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne.
Aye.
Unanimous vote to appoint the Assistant Harbor Master and Shellfish Constable appointments as presented.
Great. Next item is discussion and vote on application for outdoor entertainment at the Marsh. So we have an application here, the Marsh Coal Fire Pizza, 1840 Ocean Street. They are applying for live music, television, and recorded music with a estimated number of persons who will attend at 45. It looks like he's looking for Saturdays and Sundays and afternoons, Saturday and Sunday afternoons, indoor and outdoor. 1 to 3 singers, no residents are nearby to be affected. Entertainment will not be past 9 p.m. I don't have any approval here from the police, health, building, or fire department, so I would make a motion that we accept this application with the contingency that we receive approval from the police, health, building, and fire department prior to license. So that's my motion.
Second?
Motion been made and duly second. A roll call is in order. Mr. Rowland.
Aye.
Mr. Darcy.
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne.
Aye.
Unanimous vote to accept the application pending sign-offs from the police, health, building, and fire.
Okay, so the next item on our agenda is discussion and vote on temporary extension of licensed premise at Stellwagen Brewery for June 19th, 2021. This is a request for temporary extension for the 19th. It's their 3rd anniversary as a brewery, which is amazing because it seems like just yesterday they opened. Stellwagen has been a great business in our town and has been, well received and expanded in a great way. They're looking basically for the same footprint that, they're hosting a farmer's market coming up. And they're looking for that extension. Do you guys have any questions or any concerns about that?
No.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
No, it's a artisanal market, though, right? Not a farmer.
Yeah, they're not going to have any vendors or per se, but they're basically bringing food trucks, and it's basically to celebrate their 3rd anniversary. So I think they just want to be able to have the same setup as the.
Need a little additional space.
Yeah.
No, I'm fine. No further questions.
Okay, great. So I'll make a motion to grant a temporary extension of the licensed premise at Stellwagen Brewery for June 19th.
Second?
Motion been made and duly second. A roll call is in order. Mr. Rowland.
Aye.
Mr. Darcy.
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne.
Aye.
Unanimous vote.
Great. So next item, discussion and vote on North River Art Society request to defer fundraising for 1 year. Mr. Moresco.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Very quickly, as the board knows, we had to make some adjustments to the lease with the North River Art Society. really formalizing their commitment to, they pay a nominal rent of about $241 per year to be in that building, with the caveat that they need to raise money and put the money into the restoration of the Grand Army of the Republic building.
Correct.
Back in 2006 or 7, they did a big capital campaign, and they took the old fire station that was next door, converted that into their art studio, and they did well with fundraising. But like with any group, because of COVID, they've had a tough time raising funds. I had a meeting with them, and I told them that I would ask the board. They were looking if we could just give them an additional year of not having to raise money so that they can work on raising the money. So, you know, they're committed. They worked as I know that the chairman knows, and I know the vice chair knows, they recipient of a CPC grant. As part of their new lease, they have to work with the building commissioner, and they have to work with facility director, Fred Russell. Fred's over there, and he advises them. We did repair the rear sill, made a number of improvements with that money. We're doing some handicapped accessibility issues for them. When the DPW does the sidewalks up there, they're going to create a handicap parking space in the front of the building for them, and we'll continue to work with them. But they just needed a little relief. It was really tough this year. People didn't want to go out, didn't want to go to events, so it made it challenging. So all this vote tonight would do is they would not be required to do any fundraising. You know, they were on the hook to raise $10,000 for this year. They wouldn't have to do it, but next year would be $10,000, and the following year would be $12,000. Everything just moves ahead 1 year.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I know it's been tough, and I know also they haven't, you know, last year they weren't able to really do the arts festival that they usually, the Festival of the Arts they usually typically do at Memorial Day weekend. And obviously, my understanding is they're doing it virtually this year as well. You know, it's nice that they're doing it, but it's very hard to raise money or generate revenue from a virtual festival. So, excuse me, I have no issues in extending that, knowing that the intention is to get back on track for next year. So, Mr. Darcy.
No issues.
Mr. Cocoin?
Nope.
All right, so I'll make a motion to vote on a motion that we defer fundraising for 1 year for the North River Art Society.
Second.
A motion been made and duly seconded. A roll call is in order. Mr. Rowland?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Unanimous vote for deferral of fundraising by 1 year for North River Art.
Great. Next item, discussion and vote to adopt the town's financial policies. Mr. Della Russo,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
welcome. How are you?
I'm doing very well today. Very excited to be here.
Great.
And if I may, Mr. Chairman, may I give a brief little dialogue on the financial policies before you this evening?
Please do.
Thank you, sir. So, town's policies the BUS have adopted have served the community very well, as everyone knows. We're in a very strong position going into the final months of the final month of the fiscal year. The policies that we have put us in a strong position. While many challenges lie ahead in fiscal year 2022 and 2023, we're in a much better than average position thanks to the guidance of Michael Moresco, support of the Board of Selectmen, our finance team, and our leadership from the major departments such as the police department and fire departments. Their control of their budgets have helped us out a great deal with their expected turnbacks this year and in the past few years. So special thanks to them. The town's financial policies have been adjusted this year in some areas. We made a couple tweaks to debt service. We brought the reserve fund policy back to $100,000 minimum, as the board requested of Michael and myself. The information is reflected a little bit more accurately. We've added the benefit workflow that the board has recently adopted at the last meeting. These policies, should they be passed this evening, are going to be reported to S&P Financial, GFOA, our financial advisors, auditors, and the Department of Revenue ahead of our July bond issuance, as we do annually. That's a very important piece. The last 4 years, Michael and I have really been committed to treating this as a living, breathing document that has built-in flexibilities, and we refine them from time to time to make the necessary adjustments. I just would like to just make a comment here that it really was interesting to see during a pandemic and a recession that the policies that we had in place really delivered. They really did. We bent, but we didn't break. And when, we told the town that we were going to try to build a recession-proof operation. I'm happy to say that, based on the information that we have and based upon the results that are going to be coming, it appears we've done just that. So I would welcome any questions on the policies, if should there be any, or any discussion. But we're very proud of what we put forward in front of you this evening.
Excellent. I've had some time to look this over, and I applaud you for putting these types of controls and levers in place to make sure that our finances are managed, and and that there are set policies in place. I mean, as we, as a town, I mean, it's very important that we we have accountability, and that we we manage our funding with with very transparent policies, and I appreciate that. So I don't have any other questions, Mr. Darcy.
Yeah, you guys have done an amazing job, Patrick, Michael, and our financial team. I mean, this pandemic has been the ultimate stress test, and we passed. And like you said, you guys built a recession-proof budget, which is pretty remarkable. And it's a philosophy of bend but don't break. And Bill Belichick will be very proud of you guys. So.
I can't take credit for the term, but
Yeah,
we're applicable.
yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
If that's what they're serving, I'll eat it.
Go Coy.
Yeah, I read over the information. It was about 20 pages. I did have some questions. Our Director of Finance was actually kind enough to call me back on either a Saturday or a Sunday, like 2 seconds after I sent the questions to him.
Great.
Try to answer where I can.
Answered them perfectly. They were more just clarification questions, so I could understand it, and I want to thank you for doing that. I am a big believer in policy and procedure documentation. I think it's very important for people to understand exactly what their roles and responsibilities are. It makes it clear so people don't make mistakes and they know what their expectations are. I know it takes a fair amount of work to do that. If I'm pronouncing this right, is the COSO, Patrick?
That would be the second vote, sir.
That's the second. All right.
That'd be the
So we're
first
doing the
vote
finance
tonight
right
is-
now. I'll hold my comment for that for the second.
Sure.
Second set.
Thank you.
So otherwise, I don't have any further comments.
Great. So I will make a motion to adopt the town's financial policies as presented by Mr. Del Russo.
A motion been made and duly second. A roll call is in order. Mr. Rowland?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to accept and adopt the town's financial policies as presented by the Treasurer Collector Financial Director.
Great. So the next item is discussion and vote to adopt the town's COSO policy. Mr. Del Russo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If I may, I'd like to give a little background on what COSO is and
Please
why
do.
it's so important. First and foremost, I just want to thank Michael Moresco. He's really the driver behind why we have this policy here. When Michael took over, he said he wanted us to be up to par on every single aspect of municipal financial reporting. COSO, believe it or not, was started in 1992. It's the Commission of Sponsoring Organizations through the Treadway Committee. Picture that as like the all-star team combined from like 50 years of like the greatest football players ever, right? All in a room together, right? Ready to say, this is how we're going to make this. And what they end up spitting out was this. Right? And it's a lot of work to put this together. So what this basically does, it just basically says, okay, it says, here's your form of government, right? And it says, okay, who's going to be doing what? It defines roles, responsibilities across the entire municipal operation. And again, it's a special thanks to all the emergency management groups under Chief Tavares, under Bill Hawking, and now under Jeff Simpson. All those grants that you go out to get when there's a storm, right? DPW with Rod Procacino especially, right? It's assigning roles and responsibilities to everybody, right? Where that's the operational effectiveness and efficiency, right? Then it comes to the financial reporting and reliability, which is what we've done streamlined, is what you guys saw very well with the grants through the CARES Act and vaccination stuff like that. We're able to do that so easily because we have such a good system in place now, and it took a couple years to get there. We're not going to lie to you. It didn't happen overnight. And then, of course, the applicable laws and regulations and compliance. Ms. Moresco was our procurement officer, and that's where his specialty is, with working with Attorney Galvin to make sure that, okay, great, we can't just how it can be reported, but we make sure things are buttoned up. And we've applied that same principle and that same dynamic to all of our divisions, including the schools. The biggest part of this whole thing with the COSO is getting the buy-in, right? Everybody had to buy in. And fortunately, we worked very cooperative with all the divisions, and we have that. And so there has been, and so for the last 3 years, I'm happy to report, out of the 5 years that I've been here, we have got this adopted, and without exception from our auditors and GFOA, and that's why this is part of the reason why we receive the CAF for each and every single year, and why S&P looks so favorably upon us.
Great. So when you say buy-in, I mean, you're referring to our department heads, right?
Correct.
The department heads.
Correct, the department, exactly.
Right. So ultimately, I think it's important for our citizens to know. I mean, the whole point of this COSO system or COSO policy is to have that internal control system where each department head has buy-in for this particular system. And I think, you talk about it, but it's the control environment with, integrity, ethical values, competency, all of those things, risk assessment, control activities, information and communication, monitoring of our finances, and just an overall, like you said, buy-in from each of the department heads through you and through overall management of our internal finances. So I think that's great. It's great to have everybody on board, and I'm excited to have that in place. So, Mr. Darcy?
Great job. Nothing further to add. I mean, we have a strong team in place, and all the work you guys have put in over the years to slowly chip away and to improve our internal practices and procedures has been great, and so keep up the great work.
And we have a centralized system now, and that's really what the goal of this is. It's as streamlined and as centralized as possible, or centralized as we can be.
Yeah.
With our current governmental structure. We really are.
Mr. Kilcoyne.
Yeah, although I think, vision is important lots of times, and leadership, and they are important qualities. But from what I read here in our discussion, it would not have happened unless everyone in your department, not just leaders, embraced this and said, we're going to take on extra workload to separate Marshfield above other towns. And that was a lot of work on their part. And correct me if I'm wrong, Patrick, if they didn't embrace it,
it would be very challenging. It would be a lot of hours for Mr. Bresco and the union groups.
So I would like to give a special recognition to them
staff,
for being willing to do that.
True.
I think that's great. And can you help me understand and let the people know exactly what level of accomplishment this is? What percentage of towns in Massachusetts actually?
So there's less than 10%
have
that have active working COSO policies. Less than 15% of the towns have adopted it in cities, just due to the fact that it requires you to do a CFA audit, which is a single audit, on every account that's over $1 million. And for us, we have $170 million operating revenue and expenditures. So for us, that's pretty much anything we do. I mean, nowadays $1 million, it doesn't get you a whole heck of a lot. So, for us, it's pretty much, when you wake up in the morning, okay, we got to do another audit, right? So they don't want to go through the time and effort and energy to identify each piece of this, because as you can just see, just the summary alone on this, it's about 6 pages of things to do, and it really is what it is just taking boxes and keep checking the boxes and working through it. So it's something again, it's Michael. When Michael came in, one of the first things he asked me to do was he wanted this to be buttoned up, and for the last few years it's been buttoned up as requested. That's how it is.
I just want to say thank you again to the staff, because you made it clear to me that it would not have happened without their
there's
efforts.
no way.
And also I want to say thank you to Mike, your vision, and Patrick, your leadership, because that means that we're in the top 15, you could say almost top 10% of towns
That have a
regarding
working
this.
policy.
Correct. That sets Marshfield apart, and it clearly shows that we're running the town well from the people's finances perspective. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Excellent point, Mr. Kilcoyne. Appreciate you pointing that out. So, all right. So I will make a motion that we adopt the town's COSO policy as presented by Mr. Dela Russo.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Rowland?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to accept and adopt the town's coastal policy as presented by Treasurer Collector Finance Director.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, our next item is discussion and vote on application for annual peddler's license for Loco Larry's Tacos. I have the application here. It looks like it is in order. It also looks like we have approval from our police department, and looks like Board of Health as well, I think. And they do have a division Commonwealth hawker peddler's license as well. So I think we're all good on that, right? We're all good?
Only thing with the Board of Health, it says they received the application, so if you could just do it pending sign off
that.
by the Board of Health.
I do see that, so. And is this, Mr. Maresco, do you, is this just a one-day license? Is this?
It's an annual.
It is. So I just see they have this 6/19/21 event at Cranberry Cove, so I don't know. I just don't know if it's for specific. I didn't have a chance to look at this, so. But it is an annual peddler's license, so I would just assume that they could, do that for any event.
In any event.
Yeah.
So because they have the sales, and that's a great point that you brought up, Mr. Chairman, if I might just differentiate. So
Sure.
the annual state hawker peddler license allows them to go anywhere in any community as long as it's not municipal-owned land. And a good example is we had a vendor this past summer that came into town and was using private land, but it wasn't as a good location. He saw great town land and went over there, and he didn't have the local license. So these folks are applying for the local license, even though they have the state. So now they're covered on both state and the private and municipally owned land.
Great, yeah, so it does look like they have the one event that they're targeting, but ultimately, they're going ahead and getting an annual license so they can be considered for other events and other opportunities in town, most likely at Stellwagen or some other places. So I'll make a motion that we grant an annual peddler's license. Annual peddler's license to Local Larry's Tacos, with the caveat that they need to receive the Board of Health's approval prior to receiving the license.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Rowland?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve the request for Larry's Tacos pending sign-off by the Board of Health.
Great. Next item is the discussion and vote on application for annual peddler's license for Lorelei Moon. This is also a food truck, Lorelei Moon Coastal Cafe. They're a previous license holder, and looks like they filled out the proper paperwork. They also have Board of Health approval, but I don't necessarily see police approval.
They haven't
Haven't
been
gotten
back yet.
So I'll make a motion that we grant this license with, as long as they receive the approval from our police department.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Rowland?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve the peddler's license application for Lorelei and subject to sign-off by the police department.
Great. Next item is another peddler's license application for Pancho's Taqueria. Looks like we're gonna have a lot of tacos in Marshfield soon. Excited about that. Actually, I'm getting really hungry doing these annual peddler's licenses. So, but this is for Pancho's Tacos, and it looks like they're looking to do mobile food truck at Stellwagen and other events in Marshfield with approval of event organizers. We have approval from the police department, the criminal background, and it looks like we're still waiting on Board of Health.
Yes, that's correct.
So I'll make a motion to grant this peddler's license to Pancho's Taqueria, with contingency that they receive the Board of Health approval.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Rowland?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve Pancho's Taqueria, subject to sign-off by the Board of Health.
Great. Next one is discussion and vote on application for temporary entertainment license with Sarah Thurber. This is the South Shore Dance Academy. They're looking to do, looks like a show, a dance recital here in Marshfield for approximately 150 people. I don't know, what is the date of the, hold on, do I have that? June 26th, so ultimately, you know, we'll be out of state of emergency and they'll be able to have that many people there. Looks like the fire chief has no issues, and no issues from Phil as well. I mean, our chief of police. So, and it looks like we're good. So, I'll make a motion to grant this license for temporary entertainment license to Sarah Thurber.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. A roll call is in order. Mr. Rowland?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve the request by Sarah Thurin for South Shore Dance Academy.
Great. Next item is application for temporary entertainment license for Levitate Music Festival for August 7th and 8th. As everyone knows, and it's been discussed many times, Levitate has had to move their festival and downsize it a bit from their typical July timeframe till August 7th and 8th. More to come on the actual acts and what will be happening at that event, but it'll be typical to what they've done in the past with arts, food, and music. And you know, I'm excited for them. I'm excited for the town to be able to welcome this festival back. I believe we have everything in order. They do need to file for a building permit and inspection prior to the event for temporary structures. So that's coming from the building department. And but they do have police approval, and they do have I think they do have everything else they need.
Police, fire.
Fire and everything else. So I'll make a motion to grant this license as with the contingency that they do file the proper building permits for any temporary structures that they plan on constructing for this festival.
Chairman?
Yes.
Yes, may I, quick comment?
Go on, of course.
Yeah. Just here also that the chief of police did ask for authority to be given to the police and fire departments to revoke licenses in the event of a public safety emergency.
Okay.
After we've granted.
Great.
In the past, Mr. Chairman, we do a separate vote on that. So
Okay.
if you vote, we'll vote the license and then vote the special powers to revoke.
Oh, great. Okay, thank you. So, I'll make a motion that we grant the temporary entertainment license to Levitate Music Festival for August 7th and 8th with the contingency that they file the proper building permits for any temporary structures.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Rowland?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Levitate Music Festival temporary license been approved with the caveat as mentioned by the chair unanimously.
Great. And then I would also make a motion that that we give the authority to the police and fire department to revoke any license in the event of a public safety emergency. You know, obviously our police and fire have worked successfully with the owners and operators of Levitate, but you know, we want to make a point that the police and fire have the right to revoke any licenses in case of a public safety emergency. So that's my motion.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Rowland?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to allow the police and fire to have the power to revoke licenses in the event of a public safety emergency.
Great.
And, Mr. Chairman, just
Yes, sir.
before we go on to the next, if I can just disclose, I just want to disclose that I serve on the board of directors of the Boys and Girls Club.
Excellent. And I would also like to disclose I serve on the board of directors for the Boys and Girls Club. So, this next item is discussion and vote on application for commercial parking permit for Boys and Girls Club of Marshfield. This is something the Boys and Girls Club do every year for the Levitate Festival. It's for August the 7th and 8th. Typically, it would be during the festival. With the movement of the festival, they would like to offer this parking. It's a fundraiser for the Boys and Girls Club, and as most people in town know, the Boys and Girls Club do great things for our families in the community. But this is just, this is a pretty consistent request from them to authorize commercial parking on town-owned land. So I'll make a motion to recommend commercial parking permit for the Boys and Girls Club of Marshfield for August 7th and 8th.
Second.
And Mr. Chairman, if I may, if you could just, it's for the South River School parking lot and field, Grace Rider field, but not the infield that they just put in, and the fairgrounds lot, and it's called the fairgrounds lot because that's the lot directly to the right of the fire station. So those
Got
are the
it.
lots that they use for the overflow parking.
Right, okay, so my motion would be to grant the commercial parking permit to the Boys and Girls Club of Marshfield that would take place on South River School property, Grace Rider parking lot, and Fairgrounds lot, which is next to the fire department across from the normal fairgrounds.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Rowland?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve the parking for the Boys and Girls Club at the South River, Grace Rider, and Fairgrounds lot.
Great. Next item is discussion and vote to waive permitting fees for Marshall Housing Authority. So this is a request to waive the building permit fees for permit for the removal and replacement of the exterior doors at Grace Rider House, 135 Main Street. They are, they're requesting that we waive the building fees. I would assume they're asking that just because they are, it would help the organization save money in its.
You're 100% correct, Mr.
Yeah.
Chairman. It's a quasi-town government entity.
Correct.
So people from town serve on their board. They take care of town residents. They ask the fees because it doesn't pass the cost on to our residents who they're helping. So they come to us, and the board, the executive branch of government, is the only one that can waive the fees.
Great. Any questions or concerns to you?
No, I'm happy to waive the fee.
Yeah, I mean, it's something we've done in the past, and, I would like, I think it makes sense. So I'd like to make a motion to, hold on, lost my spot, to waive permitting fees for Marshall Housing Authority.
Second.
A motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Rowland?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to waive the permitting fees for the Marshfield Housing Authority.
Okay. Next is discussion and vote on request to use town hall parking lot. Brianna Dougherty, Ms. Dougherty would like to request the use of town hall parking lot on Saturday, July 10th from 10 to 5. They're holding a large party at their home at 1584 Ocean Street, and would like to provide a safe parking area for guests as well as avoiding causing any traffic. They will have a shuttle picking up and dropping off guests throughout the day. Mr. Maresco, is there any issues with this type of?
The only thing Bob Galvin recommends is that when we do the motion, you want to include in there at the owner's sole risk. So they're responsible. We take no bailment by providing the parking.
And do they need to sign any kind of waiver or anything like that?
No.
According to Mercer? Okay.
Bob just said as long as it says sole risk of the requester.
Okay, great.
And police have already signed off. They don't have any issues. They're aware that people will be parking there. And
Yeah.
people park there periodically. The Congregational Church, if they have an event, people will park there. I noticed, it's just funny because now we're getting these requests. I noticed I had a group of golfers for some reason, 4 carloads of golfers parked here and then got into like a big bus going somewhere. So I guess people like coming to our lot.
Well, I mean, I guess
Meters, so I can think of. Ever since I got here, Patrick's been wanting meters.
great. Just one more thing we have to monitor.
Yeah.
No, I mean, look, it's town property. I mean,
Yeah.
the taxpayers pay for these, our property, and as long as it doesn't impede our operations in town hall, I see no issue in it. And
It's on a
especially
Saturday,
yeah,
yeah.
especially on a Saturday. And I applaud actually the resident for taking the proper, proper steps to request it and keep their party goers safe. So, so I'll make a motion to grant the use of our town hall parking lot on that Saturday, with the contingency it's the owner's own risk.
Yep.
Yeah.
Second.
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Rowland?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to allow the resident to use town hall parking lot at sole risk on Saturday, on the requested Saturday.
Correct. Okay, next item, discussion and vote on acceptance of donation of $410 to Veterans Gift Account. This is from the Marshfield Elks Lodge, and it's a donation of gift cards from the Marshfield Elks that will be used to assist our veterans and their families in time of need. I'd like to thank our Marshfield Elks members for their generous donation. I have no questions.
No questions.
No questions at all. It's great.
All right, so I'll make a motion that we accept the donation of $410 from the Marshfield Elks to the donation of gift cards to help our veterans and families.
Second.
A motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Rowland?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to accept a donation of $410 for the Veterans Gift Account.
Okay, great. So the next item on our agenda is discussion and vote on Chamber of Commerce Open for Business campaign and a request to place signs. I've been in touch with Laura Brait from Executive Director of our Chamber of Commerce discussing this campaign. This is also something it's corresponding with the town of Situate, and it's ultimately a campaign through these Chamber of Commerces to basically, to promote and support our local businesses and that they are open for business this summer, both to our residents and to our tourists and visitors. I know Ms. Brait is on the call, or she's on Zoom. Laura, would you like to say a few words about this?
Sure. I can just give you an overview real quick.
Great.
Of what the campaign's about, just so everybody understands before you guys talk about it. Is that okay?
Perfect.
Okay. You can hear me okay?
We can.
Okay, great. Our Open for Business campaign is the result of a grant we applied for through the state of Massachusetts. The tagline of our campaign is not only open for business, but invest in your community. Our goals are to attract residents and visitors to our business zones and to shop local and invest in other local families whenever possible. This is a partnership, as you mentioned, with our neighbor Situate Chamber of Commerce. We are producing short video ads. We're using local radio stations, and we're advertising through locally owned publications. We also have allocated funds to help local businesses with professional logo designs if that's something that they do not have, being a young entrepreneur or a new business. Chamber members are displaying local decals on their windows and on their social media. And part of this campaign is to place strategic signage around town to drive traffic to our stores and service providers from Memorial Day to Labor Day. This is all part of our larger initiative to attract more business to Marshfield, to increase commercial tax revenue, and to make our business zones throughout town vibrant, attractive, walkable, and safe.
Great. No, it's it seems like a great initiative, and we all know that our businesses, especially our local businesses, have been in the fight, during COVID to not only to thrive but also just to survive. And I think, I applaud Ms. Brait and the chamber for applying for this grant to be able to keep that top of mind awareness for our local businesses. Now I know part of this is displaying signage across the town. And with the specifically, and those are the decals that Mr. Maresco's holding up. I don't know if people can see it, but those are the decals that will go on the windows all over town. One of the big requests was originally to put a banner across Snow Road. But recently, and we're talking with our building, I know Ms. Brait's been talking with our building inspector, Mr. Andrew Stewart. The challenge is there really isn't a place to hang that banner on Snow Road. And that is where we would most likely need to hang it, because it is town. It's a town road versus a state road. So the recommendation is, at least from my standpoint, is that we figure out a way to put a large sign on the town green or in some prominent area, town property, so that people will see that as a big part of the initiative. So not exactly sure how we would execute that, but I would like to see that.
Sure,
So,
Mr. Chairman, we'll be able to do that. We can put the sign up on the town green. So tonight, when you support the initiative and putting up the stickers and encouraging people and businesses to do that, we'll do another motion to allow the chamber sign to be installed on the town green close to Moraine Street so that people can see it. And I know that the chamber's requested it from Memorial to Labor Day, and I think it needs to, actually, Mr. Darcy had spoken to me today. He had talked to the building department, and it's every 30 days, we just have to ask for an extension so that they
Sure.
can have it up for the full 90. The reason I mentioned about fronting it facing on the Moraine side says cars go up and down to the highway. That way it's the high visibility. And we have the opiate ceremony out there, and they put the flags up, so that will not impede with that. And the other thing is I will file an application with the Historic Commission. They need to sign off, but they won't be opposed to that because they too support local business. So we'll do that. And then the final thing is, if the selectmen would like, if they take a vote authorizing this, I have a larger size medallion sticker that we can put on the front door so that the people coming in and out of Town Hall know that they should be investing in their community by shopping locally.
excellent. Ms. Braid, is there a website dedicated to this initiative and listing the different businesses and what they have to offer, or something to that effect?
Yes, there is. Yep, there is a website. It's being worked on right now. It's not live yet, but I'd be happy to let you know as soon as it is.
Great. I was mainly asking that because I think people will see the sign and hopefully they'll go to look for a website and a listing of businesses and what they're up to and what their offerings are. I mean, I think in town a lot of people know these businesses, but it's just not a bad thing to have that reminder. So, okay, great.
Mr. Chairman, quick comment?
Sure.
Minnesota, you said that we need to have it's a 90-day, and they need to ask for extensions because they can only give 30. And you said that we need to file for the extension. Are you talking about the selectman or the applicant files?
The applicant would file for
Okay,
the.
just wanted
30
a clarification.
Yeah.
That it's not
I
the
mean, they
selectman,
can-
the applicant.
Yeah, it's one of those sign things where they usually 30 days, so.
Totally understand it. Just wanted a clarification that it's the applicant to ask for that.
Great. Mr. Darcy?
Sure. So, beyond even the South Shore, the Marshfield Chamber is one of the most active chambers in the entire state. So this is yet another great initiative that you guys are pursuing. So I know the chamber is looking to do a wooden sign on the town green, a wooden sign also on the ground for the Esplanade, and then so Andrew, I think, found a prospective location where they could hang a banner. So when I'm done speaking, I think Andrew could provide some helpful context, but basically, they need a special permit from Andrew for 30 days, and they have to reapply, 2 or 3 times or whatever it is. But so I'll let Andrew speak and provide some helpful context, and more than happy to support this great initiative.
Great. Mr. Stewart, do you have some comment? Probably on mute.
Oh, he's
May
there.
not be there. I see him there.
Yeah, I see him there too.
All right, so we would just vote to support it, and
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, so I'll make a motion to support this initiative. I mean, it makes a ton of sense to me, and I think it's important that we support our local businesses. So I'll make a motion to support the initiative.
Sure, and I think Andrew just connected to audio
Oh.
and then muted himself, so we're gonna give him another.
Hold on a second, Andrew. Are you there? You're on mute now for sure.
Yeah.
There you are. There he is.
It's on the move.
On the move.
My apologies.
No worries, man.
I got my son in bed just in time, so.
I hear you. I hear you.
I apologize, I don't know where you're at. that, so.
So basically we were discussing the actual, initiative itself that we are going to vote to support, but ultimately we were looking for some color from you on the signage. Mr. Darcy was mentioning that you had some ideas for the signage, and we were just wanting to get those ideas or that input from you.
Yeah, once we started looking for a suitable area, I inquired to Situate because I know that they had some signs for Heritage Days. They didn't really have any good information for me as far as how they had historically connected those signs. We looked at poles, thought about maybe even trees, all sorts of different things, or just even erecting some sort of poles with guy wires. Upon driving around and looking around, I found some poles right across from Town Hall on Ocean Street, between the two little cemeteries that we have there. And there's a freestanding pole that has it looks like some connections for a banner going across the street to another pole, which is a utility pole with a light, which also has some connections on it. And my recommendation would, it appears that you would be able to have a banner placed there above, at the height requirement you would need for the trucks to pass underneath it. Looks like that's historically, I believe, has been used there in the past. Seems that people remember that being used for the banners back in 1990 with the 350th town celebration, that there was a banner there. So I think that that's probably the most appropriate place for something like that.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing is I believe the challenge is that's a state highway, not a town road. And for us to place anything there, we would have to get state approval, and that would be probably unlikely. So, am I right, Mr. Maresco?
Well, we need to get it. It does take a lengthy amount of time, even with some political push.
Yeah, so I mean, ultimately, if you wanted it we could try that. I mean, my recommendation is we would do the town, what we can control in the short term. And if we wanted to go ahead and apply for that, I have no problem with that. It's just that we're not in control.
The chamber would apply to the DOT. I think it's District 5, which is over in Hanover. But you're right, Mr. Chairman. You could, in the short term, approve the wooden sign to go on the town green on the Moraine side, and other locations, and then at the same time gives the chamber time to pursue the banner. And that is, Mr. Stewart's correct, that is where the 350th did.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Could we approve the banner contingent on state approval?
Yep, absolutely.
Sure. All right.
Can I just say one thing briefly?
Of course.
The reason the way the bylaw is written is it says, over a public way, and the town planner did confirm that technically it is a public way, so that's why we would need the selectmen. Even if it is considered a state highway and we would need their approval as well, we would still need the selectmen approval for that being a public way.
Thanks, Andrew.
Noted. Okay, great. So, appreciate that feedback. I'm going to make a motion. First motion I'm going to make is that we support this initiative. It's a great initiative for local business, in support of local business in our chamber. So I'll make a motion to support the initiative.
Second?
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Rowland?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to support the initiative. The Chamber of Commerce open for business.
Great. And hopefully I'll get this right, because there's a lot of different things. But I'm going to make a motion that we support and allow the construction of a wood banner or a banner in the town green facing Moraine Street, immediately or as soon as possible, and then also continuously approve a banner hung over Ocean Street, which is a public way, but based with the approval of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts to allow that such banner.
Sign the Esplanade, too.
Oh, yes, and they're signing the Esplanade as well.
Second?
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Rowland?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to approve the sign down in the Esplanade, the town green, the banner across the state road and local byway, unanimously by the Board of Selectmen. And just one other thing, maybe if the selectmen want that on the window, a vote to authorize the town administrator can hang this on our front window.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to allow our town administrator to post the window decal open for business on the front door of our town hall. That's my motion.
Second?
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Rowland?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to, for the town administrator to affix the open for business.
Great. Thanks so much, Laura and Andrew. Looking forward to a busy summer in Marshfield.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right. Next item, discussion and vote to approve waiver electrical permit at Maritime Center for installation of ATM. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. We're putting an ATM at the Maritime Center, and I'm just questioning why are we waiving the permit?
I just have maybe a help on that.
Sure.
So we're not waiving the permit. That's just kind of, I think, a typo. We're waiving the permit fee like we do for all other town organizations.
Oh, got it. I was going to say that makes more sense.
Mr.
Yep.
Kilcoyne, yep.
Yep.
We only
Great
waive the
catch.
fees. Town government,
I was
just
gonna
like
say,
anyone,
we're gonna
has
keep
to
the
follow
permit.
the permits.
I definitely want the licensed electrician installing the ATM.
Yes.
That's all.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We don't want anyone getting electrocuted when they're taking
No,
money out.
I've seen that before. Okay, then I have no questions.
No questions.
All right. So I'll make a motion to approve the waiver of the electrical permit fee for the Maritime Center to install the ATM.
Second?
A motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Rowland?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to waive the electrical permit fee for the installation of the ATM.
Great. All right, last item is discussion and vote on acceptance of the minutes for May 10th, 2021. Do we have all the signatures?
Yes.
Great. So I'll make a motion that we accept those minutes for May 10th, 2021.
Second?
Okay, motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Rowland?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to accept the minutes for May 10th, 2021.
Great. Make a motion. That's it for today, so make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second?
Motion been made and duly seconded. Roll call is in order. Mr. Rowland?
Aye.
Mr. Darcy?
Aye.
Mr. Kilcoyne?
Aye.
Unanimous vote to adjourn for the evening.
Great. Thanks, everyone. Happy Memorial Day.
You do the bang.
Well, I got to do my thing.
Closed.
I don't think anybody's ever...